Try to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello everyone, my name is Mark, aka Derringer. Today is Monday, September 23rd, and you are listening to episode 227 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for Planetside news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. So what's been going on with me this past week? Well, obviously, Planetside Arena launched last Thursday. I've been playing some Planetside Arena to try and get a better grip on what my overall feelings are about the game. I've been playing a little bit of WoW. I've been playing a little bit of Planetside 2, just dabbling in kind of everything and really looking closely at Borderlands 3 and trying not to pull the trigger on another game that I don't have time to play but really want to play. I got a couple buddies at work that I talk games with, and one of them was like, I got Borderlands 3 and it's fucking amazing. So I'm worried that I'm going to get sucked into that Borderlands 3 maelstrom any day now. On top of that, my soccer team is undefeated right now. We're 3-0 to start the season, and we're clicking on all cylinders. And yeah, overall, a good time. I'm having a good time with life. Not going to lie. I apologize for recording this show a day late. My daughter was home from college yesterday. Even though I did tweet that I spent way too long on Doku's yacht and partying and wasn't able to get home in time. That's not the real reason. Hopefully you guys took that as tongue-in-cheek. It was meant to be humorous. But my daughter was home over the weekend and needed to bring her back to college. Again, for those curious, she attends the University of New Hampshire, and so I brought her and dropped her off that night, and then it was pretty late by the time we got back, and I was pretty exhausted from driving home after that, so I just couldn't get all my ducks in a row to record yesterday, so I apologized to my listeners for that, and so that's why I'm recording on Monday. I'll try to make up for it next week and not record on Monday. Everything should be fine next week. So what's in store actually for this week's show? Well, first, now that Planetside Arena is out and people are playing it and I'm playing it with other people, I want to give my opinions on the game currently. After that, I want to talk about that Doku announcement that he made regarding his yacht. Then I'm going to talk briefly about the Iridar.net website and the kerfuffle with that going offline. And then I'm going to finish up this week with actually some good news because one of our longtime creators in the game has some really, really good news that he shared with us recently that I want to give a shout out to because I've bought a lot of his stuff in game. So with that, please strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So like I said, first up this week is Planetside Arena. As we all know, Planetside Arena dropped on the 19th on Thursday. I did not have a chance to play it when it went live. And the interesting thing that we did learn that no one talked about until it went live is Planetside Arena right now is free to play for PC players on Steam. So if you didn't realize that, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that was the case. Everything that we got leading up to the actual live launch was that you were going to have to pay at least $20 to unlock the regular bundle, or basically $50 to unlock the larger bundle. There was no word or marketing or anything like that saying that Planetside Arena was going to be free to play in this early access mode, and therefore it was a surprise to quite a few of us when it actually dropped and was free to play. So again, if you have been sitting on the fence not wanting to spend money on Planetside Arena, you don't need to. You can actually go in and play it if you are a PC player. Now, I do wonder that because we're still in early access, and I haven't heard one thing or another from Daybreak Games on this topic. It would be nice for them to mention something like this. We don't know if you are going to need to buy a copy of this game when it goes live, because obviously right now we're in early access, and the roadmap itself said full launch is going to be second quarter of 2020, and second quarter of 2020 means April, May, or June of 2020. I mean, obviously they can push it as far out as June if they want to, because they just say Q2 2020. So it's kind of up in the air on exactly when that will go live. I assume, though, once we get closer to Q2 2020, we'll actually get an announcement saying this is going to be the official launch of Planetside Arena. So what has really happened with this early access launch of Planetside Arena? I hate to say it, but not a lot of good press has come out of this early access launch. There are not as many people as I expected playing Planetside Arena right now. Even over the weekend, when I played a bit with some of the guys in Joke and stuff like that, we struggled to get over 100 players in any of the games that we played. I think we played one where we had 108 players, but that was the most that we ever saw. And obviously they've been screaming that we should be able to see 300 players in this squads mode early access setup, and we're just not seeing those numbers. I mean, the first day that it went live, I think 1,400 people were playing overall Planetside Arena, and it's only gone down from there. When I just checked a few minutes ago, and this is on a Monday night, 600 people were playing Planetside Arena, which is not a lot of people, and obviously you're not going to get your full 300 player matches in a situation like that when you've only got 600 total people, because obviously there's not just going to be two games going at the same time, and we're not aware of what their algorithm is for starting a match, but it certainly doesn't wait forever to start a match because they need to have people leaving. So obviously they've got some algorithm in place saying, okay, you're going to wait X number of minutes before you actually launch the game with at least X number of players in it. And I mean, I've played matches as high as 100 some odd people and matches as low as 47 people in them. And again, this is in squads mode, so this is 12 v12 v12, etc., which I will say that I'm pleasantly surprised with how much I actually enjoy playing squads mode. That comes with a huge caveat, though. I really only enjoy playing squads mode with friends on a TeamSpeak server where we can all talk. And the games that I've played by myself without friends have been woefully disappointing. And if I was just a brand new person coming into Planetside Arena, not knowing anybody, and just diving in and being randomly dropped into a squad and playing the game, I don't know that I would have as much fun as I'm having in these 12-player squads modes. Now, it might also help that the people that I'm playing with are pretty decent players. A lot of them play the hell out of Apex Legends and stuff like that, so they're pretty good at Battle Royale games. I'm horrible, and I have no illusions to how bad I am at Battle Royale games. But again, I've been having quite a bit of fun playing with the folks that I've been playing with. Now, like I said, we seem to be playing with a ton of inexperienced players, maybe new players to Planetside Arena, and part of me worries that for lack of a better term, we're curb stomping other teams in this game. At one point, we played Saturday night, I think, and we had 3 teams come up against us, and we wiped out all 3 teams. And it wasn't even a challenge to wipe out these 3 teams. Granted, we've obviously come up against some more focused players. I saw quite a few people I recognized from Planetside 2 in some of these good teams that were also playing against us. And then when we fought against somebody like that, the matches were much, much more even. But even getting to that point could be frustrating at times and really felt like almost a 15 minutes of doing nothing in Planetside Arena, and then to finally run into a team, decimate them, and win. You might even only fight a handful of people and we'd still get a victory in the game itself. And I remember us playing one game and we did the math that our 12-man squad eliminated 75% of the other players in the game, and that's hilarious to me that something like that should happen, but it means clearly that we're playing a lot of subpar players or unskilled players or players who may not have unlocked a lot of things in the game, which leads me to another thing that I'm not really excited about Planetside Arena. Whereas I don't feel that Planetside 2 is pay to win, because obviously most of the weapons are side grades in Planetside 2. You can get a couple good implants to help you out, but overall, I think the game is much more skill-based than pay-to-win based, whereas Planetside Arena is the 100% exact opposite. It feels more pay-to-win than any game that I have played in a long time. I mean, when you go through and look at some of the things that you can buy, they are straight up upgrade. And now, granted, it's loot crates, so you do need to purchase a bunch of loot crates, but you can purchase a particular tier of loot crate, which is guaranteed to give you the much better gear that's in the game. Now, yes, you're going to pay a bunch of money for these things, and yes, you can earn these things just by playing the game, but there is a definite way to fast track better abilities for your players by immediately spending money in Planetside Arena. And I don't like that. And that could be another reason why the group that I'm with seems to be beating up on these other teams that probably don't have a lot of unlocked stuff at this early stage. I heard people saying that some people had already gone out and bought, $20, $30, $50 worth of loot crates just to get a bunch of upgrades in the game without even having to wait. Now, I guess these people have plenty of disposable income to throw at games like this, and if they want to do that, then fine, they can do that. But obviously, it's giving such an advantage to them against some of these other players that I can't help but think that it's going to sour how newer players dropping into Planetside Arena are going to feel. Now, let's say we're playing this game all the way up to launch, and those of us that are continuing to play it unlock everything that you can unlock in the game. Then when they have a hard real launch in Q2 2020, is that going to bring an influx of new players in the game that are going to be completely under, they're not going to be at the same skill level. They're not going to have the same unlocks as somebody that's been playing it since September 19th, 2019. Yes, I do feel that that's the case with Planetside Arena. I hate to crap on Daybreak Games for this one, but right now, Planetside Arena feels so dead on arrival that I can't help but still think that this is going to hurt the company as a whole, that they're just throwing out the next flavor of the month in Battle Royale games, hoping to make some kind of splash. And right now, they're not making any sort of splash. I mean, the Steam reviews on this one, they are, as they stand right now, it's sitting at mixed with 1,239 reviews. Obviously, you don't want to have something that says mixed. You want it to be at least positive, but it's not. I'm not excited about this game at all. Crindusk sent me a message saying, have your thoughts changed on Planetside Arena since you've had a chance to actually play it now? And right now, Planetside Arena feels like a game that I'm going to jump in and play squads mode with my friends if they're playing it. If they're not playing it, there are plenty of other things that I would much rather play. Planetside 2 being one of them. And I understand, I've said it in the past, I'm not a Battle Royale fan for the most part. I'll dabble in them here and there. I've played Fortnite. I've played Apex Legends. Now I've played Planetside Arena. I don't really, like any of them that much. I mean, Apex Legends is okay, but it was launched with it was launched well by EA. I can't believe I'd say something like that, because how often does that happen? Whereas I just feel like this is such a launch flop. The marketing is poor. The messaging on this is poor. I'm really worried still about the future of Daybreak Games, since they've obviously spent as much time on Planetside Arena as they have, and it just feels like another Battle Royale game. It doesn't feel special. It doesn't want to bring me into the game. Had they launched with Massive Clash mode now and a Massive Clash now, or some sort of outfit guild system now immediately, rather than forcing us to wait until next year, and we're talking 6 months away still before we get any of that stuff, they might be able to bring me in and make me play this more than I'm going to play. But right now, I cannot recommend Planetside Arena, and I'm disheartened that I even have to say something like that. I just feel that there's so many missteps with this game right now, and it's breaking my heart that I need to crap on Daybreak Games more because of this, because I like everybody at Daybreak Games. I want them to succeed. I continue to want them to succeed. But then they push out something like this, which I feel is just so... It feels half-hearted in all their attempts to make hype for this game, and it just feels like another Battle Royale game that somebody's creating, not the next big Planetside franchise that I want Planetside content to be. At this point, along with a lot of other people, I wish that they had taken all the resources that they're putting into Planetside Arena and put it into Planetside 3, and start working on something for the future. I mean, Planetside 2 is a 7-year-old game right now. How much legs does it still have? I hope it still goes on for a long time because I still enjoy playing it. But there's a few other topics I'm going to talk about this week that kind of maybe put the writing on the wall that Planetside 2 isn't going to be around forever either. And with the launch of Planetside Arena feeling like a flop at this point, I'm still genuinely concerned about the future of Daybreak Games. So, Crindusk, I hope that answers your question. I'm not any more excited. But like I said, when I'm in playing the game with friends, we have a good time. We laugh about it. But I only want to play 5 or 6 games, maybe tops, before I'm done and want to go on and do something else. So that's how I feel about Planetside Arena right now. I'll continue to bring you guys the news about it because that's what I'm here for. With that, though, let's move on to our second topic this week. And that second topic was that announcement that we got by Doku a few days ago. And his Reddit post said that it is unlikely that he will be making any more Planetside 2 content. So he wanted to thank everyone for their support, in parentheses, money, over the years. And he posted a nice picture, photoshopped picture of himself on a yacht, insinuating that all our money that we've sent over to him has allowed him to buy a yacht, which is freaking hilarious. But this makes me realize that there's two things with this. One, it made me realize that Doku's done a lot for Planetside 2. Obviously, he created a ton of weapons for the game. He created the NSO robots for the game. And he has left his indelible mark on Planetside 2 for everyone to enjoy. So for him to specifically come out and say that he's most likely not making any more Planetside 2 content, that saddens me, because it means either he received a more lucrative offer somewhere else to do something else, which he did confirm in the comments is actually happening. He said he's working on a solo UE4 project, and he's also heading a small team on another project in the near future. So the question is, did that all end up being more lucrative or more aligned with what he wants to do in the future rather than what Daybreak Games is offering him at this current stage with Planetside 2? Now, Rel did wish him luck, and he responded to Rel saying that he would love to help out if PS3 ever becomes a reality. So it's not that he's completely discounting working with Daybreak Games ever again, but it's still sad to me that he's made this announcement that he's no longer going to be doing Planetside 2 work. So from me, Doku, since I didn't take the time to comment on your Reddit post, since my comment would probably just get lost in the mix. I just want to say thank you for everything that you did for Planetside 2, all the modeling that you did, the weapons that you brought to the game, NSO stuff. I am in awe of the work that you do and would love to see the next stuff that you're working on. So please let us know. With that, let's move on to our third topic this week. And that third topic is the news that the iridar.net website went offline. And this seems to be something that no one was expecting was going to happen. This happened on Saturday. We all knew that Iridar said he was stopping doing his Planetside 2 content. And he did state that he was handing the reins over to somebody else to continue working on it. And that was about 6 months ago he said this. And he's been pretty quiet in the community since that time. So it was still kind of a shock when his site went offline to a lot of people. And now I know a lot of people still go to that site to this day to get information about Planetside 2, even though some of it might be outdated at this point, because I'm not sure exactly who is continuing to update it. So again, it was a big shock to the community when this site went offline, and quite a few people said that they had wished they had gotten a proper heads up on this to make an offline copy. And Iridar did say, to his credit, that he didn't mention it. It wasn't a big decision. He just kind of let the account balance that was paying for the website run out. And I don't blame him, but he also said that he has no intention to continue paying out of pocket for a website dedicated to a game I no longer play. And he doesn't expect or want anyone else to pay for the hosting of his website. And these are all things that I respect him for. You know, it's on us as a community for not grabbing the information from his website and hosting it somewhere else. And also, the person who was supposed to have taken it over, that was Uzi, it looks like he got wrapped up in a new job and stuff, so he really didn't have the time for it as well. It's still on us as a community for not making sure that this information is hosted somewhere else. Now, the good news out of this is that based on all this back and forth with everybody, Iridar did say that he was approached by somebody that was going to take everything over, and he's put a few dollars into keeping the website up at least for another week or so that stuff can get transitioned over to a new area. So all's well that ends well, I guess. But at this point, just remember, if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, basically, with a website like this, we as a community need to make sure that we've got this stuff covered and it's somewhere that we can access it. Somebody suggested we transcribe the majority over it onto the Planetside wiki, and I think that's a good idea. So I'm hoping that some people actually take advantage of that. So Iridar's website's not gone yet, but it will be gone soon. So if there's something you need from it, this is actually a PSA to go grab it. And let's move on to our fourth and final topic and wrap up this week's show. And that final topic is actually some good news, because again, I feel like last week's show title, I was Debbie Downer about everything. This week, it feels like bad news again. You know, Planetside Arena feels like a flop, and Doku's not doing anything else for Planetside 2 anymore. Iridar.net's website is gone, and nobody can access the information. It just feels like it was all doom and gloom this week. But then we got a little ray of sunshine, or we found the rainbow at the end of the rainstorm. And it came from one of my favorite people creating items within Planetside 2, and that was FuzzBuket. And he posted on Reddit that he wanted to thank all of us, and he wanted to thank everybody at Daybreak Games, because today, as in this is today, Monday the 23rd, he got to start work at one of the United Kingdom's, in his words, most exciting games companies. Now, he doesn't tell us which one it is, so maybe he'll tell us someday what company he's actually working for. But he did say that the Player Studio program, the feedback, encouragement, and the constructive criticism that we all provided him allowed him to take 3D seriously, and also our support of him in game helped support him while he was in college. And he says that he graduated with first-class honors as well, and that all of this experience overall with Planetside 2, the community, being able to support himself, that he was able to get this dream job that he wanted to. So I guess this is really good news, and I love feel-good stories like this because I know all of us have been in game, and there are many things that FuzzBuket has put into the game, or created via Player Studio, that have appeared in game that I have bought. And I know all of you have bought it as well. So I'm really happy to report on a feel-good story like this, that someone was able to leverage Planetside 2 and their Player Studio program to further their own wants within a work that they want to do ultimately. So congratulations from me, FuzzBuket. I'm hoping this doesn't mean that you're not going to create stuff on the side. That would be cool if you still created some stuff for Planetside 2, especially since somebody's got to fill that Doku void. But and again, congratulations, FuzzBuckets. Maybe someday you'll tell us what company you're working for, but I'm happy to report at least some bit of good news this week. But with that, let's move on to housekeeping this week.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
I coming anyway?
So for housekeeping, the only email I got was actually the message that I got from Crindusk, and I did go over that in my first topic this week regarding my thoughts on Planetside Arena. So again, to answer your question, Crindusk, I don't think that I have a more favorable view of it, and that's really all I'm going to say about it, because I think I've covered more than enough of it. But that's going to be it for this week's show. So as always, how can you get in touch with me or the show itself? Well, first you should visit my website, which is www.instantactionpodcast.com. You can also email me at instantactionshow@gmail.com. You can call me at 347-4VM-4PS2. Those digits are 347-486-4772. And as always, you can follow the show on Twitter at InstActPodcast. But in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a review on your podcast listening avenue of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. And finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that join combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Derringer out.